What up, good people? It's Monday. It's time. It's time. It's Monarchs time. This is your boy Cool McCain. Joined over here on my side by my co-host, Playmaker. What up, man?
Show 2 of 3. Great. Just to let y'all know, this might be show 2 for me, but this is show 1 of 2 for him.
Well, actually, I did record a show earlier today, so if we're counting that, this is show 2 for me as well.
So, yeah. It was like me and him going to be on these streams a lot today.
And that comes directly from our boy, D. Willie. Shout out to D. Willie, because he will be part of our other engagement this evening after this. But
I don't know why he chose the Monarchs for this one. I don't know why, but he chose the Monarchs.
It sounds like it feels like a setup. But it's all good.
I was like, oh Lord, the Monarchs get to take over in and out supposed to be. Oh, great.
Hey man, he made the decision. We didn't manipulate him into it or anything.
I didn't know you was gonna be on there. He already asked me, and I was like, whenever I got a Monday, he's like, you off Monday? Yes, I am. All right, I can get you on. And then he showed the flyer. I'm like, so the Monarchs are taking over. Oh, that's just great.
Yeah, he told me he was gonna be on, but I had already told him I was gonna do it. So you know what I'm saying.
He planned that on purpose.
No, he did it. He did. But you know, I'm a big believer in be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
I'm just gonna say that for Wednesday.
I'm
just gonna say that for Wednesday because I know what that was coming from.
It's coming from a lot of places.
Oh, I know one place in particular.
A lot of places.
All right, let's get y'all some wrestling. Yeah, I know y'all been waiting for us to talk wrestling.
Yes,
let's go ahead.
All right, so of course, y'all know how we do TNA, setting off everything. So we had a match between Chris Bay and Ace Austin. Those are the members of ABC. Ace feel like they had some issues, they need to work them out, and a match would be a good way to do it. Chris Bay didn't really want to do it, but he did it. Had the match, a really great opening match for TNA. Chris Bay ended up winning with a roll-up. Real back and forth. They were real evenly balanced. It just so happened that Chris Bay had that little opportunity at the end to get that roll-up, and he was able to cinch in that roll-up and get the dub. Right. Like I said, great match. Two guys that really can put on the match together or against each other because they know each other so well. You want to see that from time to time. After the match, it was a couple of times where you thought Ace Austin was going to turn on Chris Bay, but he didn't. So at least for now, they're still a tag team. So the second thing that I got from watching TNA, there were some small things as well, but the main point, Johnathan Gresham is insane. My man coming out with an octopus mask, the refs wearing masks when he in the ring and stuff. So he's wild. He's spitting out ink and stuff. Like, it's crazy, but it works. It gives something similar to what you've seen from Johnathan Gresham in the past, but amplified. And it gives a new character that at some point you know is going to start to ascend the ranks and get some gold on his shoulder. So I'm interested in how this character is going, what they're going to do with it, and if they're going to continue on the path that they're going. He faced the Death Machine, Sami Callihan. Of course, he won. But just the way they're doing his character, the vignettes and everything before he showed up, this guy's insane. And I'm here for it. I don't know if you've seen anything about Johnathan Gresham lately.
I have not, if I'm being completely honest.
Johnathan Gresham is wild.
But good to hear the name once again.
Yes, sir. And I think that's a great place because he can elevate eyes on the place by being there, because he already had it from the real Ring of Honor back in the day. All right. So the last, there's a couple of small points, and one we can kind of cover now. If you want to, we can cover it. We get to WWE. Doesn't matter. But one of the last points from the actual show, Joe Hendry was in the main event. So he was against Eddie Edwards from the System. He was backed up by the Nemeth brothers. And of course, the System was on the other side. The match itself isn't the thing for me. It may be for other people, but it's the fact that you have Joe Hendry, who a couple of weeks ago was in a program with AJ Francis and Rich Homie Quan. Not Rich Homie Quan, Rich Homie, dang. I always get that wrong. But anyway, your boy with the two dreads, him. It was just a beef with them. And now he's going from that to Joe Hendry.
He said the guy with the two dreads.
The boy with the two dreads. I mean, come on, Rich Swann got
Oh
like
my gosh.
Yeah, they got like two dreads, bro.
It's the fact that you said it. And you
I know,
say
man. Somebody got to say it, bro. Somebody got to say it.
You couldn't say his name, though, because you forgot it.
Guys, man, I kept thinking about the two dreads. And it's messing me up, but I didn't want to yell out two dreads. Yeah,
you did it anyway.
Yeah, I'm saying I didn't want to just say your boy two dreads. I didn't want to do that.
Wow.
I guess I kind of ended up doing it anyway, but I was trying not to. It's the point. But Joe Hendry getting elevated from that point to now at least being in a match in the main event against a member of the System. That's a big jump, and it shows that TNA has some belief in him. And another thing is he's not going to stay there. He's not going to be fighting him every week, right? But to get this opportunity, that's how you start to try to take someone who maybe has the talent and the look that you like, and you find ways to kind of slightly move them up the card. You have a couple of main event matches. You don't have to win them. Just be in them and look good, right? And then you start to get back down, like people on where people perceive your level to be maybe mid-card, upper mid-card, and you start winning those matches, right? So then you gradually increase, and I like that they're doing that. Joe Hendry is a guy that I think deserves a run near the top, maybe not necessarily being a champion. Even on the right situation, I can see him being TNA champion in the future, but to be there, to be a real challenger, somebody that you look at and say, he could actually win the match. Joe Hendry, I can see that point now, moving in that direction. So glad to see them taking someone that was kind of stuck in a bad program and seeing we have something here. Let's move this guy to a different area. So like to see that, here for it. So yeah, some other things happen. I mean, we might as well go ahead and slide this in now so that way we won't have to double back to it later. So if you watched NXT, which your boy did, you noticed that on that show, there was one person that we did not expect to see.
Oh, so you're going to do that now. You're just going to go ahead and jump
on the female side.
So you're just going to go ahead and jump right into it.
Yes. So we having the show. We had got like a little foreshadowing the week before. Ava Rain said she had talked to the two GMs of Raw and SmackDown, Pierce and Aldis, and they had all agreed. So I'm like, well, what? They gonna have like a triple threat or something? Like I'm trying to figure out in my mind like what they doing. So then they announced the new challenger for the NXT Women's Championship. And guess who comes out? The Juggernaut Jordynne Grace, the TNA Women's Champion, with her second appearance in WWE. Of course, she was in the Rumble too. Is now going to be facing the champion in WWE. Great cross promotion. And Jordynne Grace, if you're going to have someone walk over with or without the championship belt, because even if she doesn't have it at that point, Jordynne Grace looks like she could beat anybody in NXT. Mostly anybody on the main roster of WWE too. So I think a very intelligent move to get this working relationship and have her slide over and challenge on NXT. Will she win? I don't know, because if she wins, that presents some interesting angles. But hey, they could be trying to drum up some more interest. Also on that show, for those who are fans of hip hop music, Sexy Red was on the show. She did have an impact, and she did look very sumptuous, and her cakes were flowing. So, not upset about that. There were a lot of cakes involved in NXT this week. it would take me an hour to break down. I'm just gonna say cakes galore, and thank you to the Lords of the Cakes for allowing all of these cakes to be there for us to indulge in. I'm gonna leave it there. All right. Any thoughts, Playmaker, on Jordynne Grace?
Go to
NXT.
Let's go.
Nothing, sir.
I would get back to Jordynne Grace.
Okay. Fair enough. So we're gonna take our first break here, guys. So stay tuned with us. We'll be back here in a few moments. And y'all know what's coming up next. We're gonna have some juiciness on the AEW discussions.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We're going to see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony, or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
All right, good people, and we're back about to dig into AEW. Got our first commenter of the night. So Damien says, "What's up? What's up, Damien?" We look for at least one or two blasphemous statements for you a week, so we appreciate you hopping in and come and take care of that for us, sir. It is much appreciated.
Yeah, no way.
Right. So
we gonna get one.
Oh, we're gonna get one. Two. All right, so we're gonna slide on over to AEW. So, a couple of questions.
Hold on, before you continue, guess who's in the chat?
Who is in the chat, sir? Uh-oh. We got in the chat Mr. McCoffey himself. Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
What up, Ryan?
I'm sorry. I just noticed. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh yeah, man. You know, we like to shout out when our BIBs be in the chat, and also our first, or maybe not first, but first time posting fellow podcasters. So appreciate that. Definitely, Ron, appreciate that. So in the world of AEW,
I don't know where you're going, but are you starting out what I think you're finna start at?
yes, I am. It's actually two things, and I'm gonna condense them into one.
Okay.
So we had a I forgot what they call it now, but they had one of the match types of AEW. My fault, y'all. It's been a long day, and the brain is like 90% here, but the other 10 ain't. We'll call it a gauntlet match.
No, well, not a gauntlet match.
Yeah, for the number one contender to face Swerve at the next pay-per-view. Or yeah, they still call it pay-per-view.
I'm glad you said it because I was trying to figure out how that all came about. Now I understand.
Yeah. So
I still have my question about that though.
We're gonna have two of my favorite AEW wrestlers wrestling each other. So I'm going Swerve's way, but I'm a little torn on this one.
Is it too soon?
I'm gonna get to that. That's definitely a part of the discussion. So you're gonna have Swerve Strickland versus Bruv, Will Osprey, right? But first, we may not even have Swerve as champion because of all people, y'all. And I'm confused as to how this even came about. And I saw it. Roderick Strong is going to be facing Swerve Strickland for the championship on Dynamite. Now, many of you may ask, how the heck did this happen? Politicking about Roderick Strong.
I'm thinking one
and
person has something to do with it. I'm thinking.
So this is wild. That's crazy. But that ain't even the important part. Because I don't believe Swerve gonna lose to Roderick Strong. I don't
either. But Adam Cole, what are you cooking over there?
I'm trying to weaken Swerve, obviously. But I think that if the Undisputed Kingdom attempts to get involved on Wednesday, there's going to be a certain gentleman who is back, who doesn't believe anybody is on the level with the devil, but he has a lot of problems with the Undisputed Kingdom. So I think there will be some odds evening in a key moment in that match that will allow my boy Swerve.
And he didn't need Ring of Honor or Vince McMahon to make him either.
No. If we're being 100% honest, he didn't make Swerve either. Swerve was there, but they didn't care about it.
I know he was talking about. That's why I threw that quote.
Yeah, because AEW's WWE had this dude with AJ Francis, you know what I'm saying, and two other people that we don't care about. We care a little bit about. Bro. They put that man in Hit Row. So that tells you how much WWE cared about it.
I actually liked it. I actually liked the group when it was in NXT.
Right, but
they just dropped the ball on the main roster.
Do it on the main roster. You know how it is what it is.
I'm just gonna say they dropped. Ain't the first time they dropped the ball when it comes to something in NXT.
Maybe not. Maybe just wasn't properly prepared to work on WWE, but they kept it there anyway, right? So sometimes things are good on the NXT level because of the energy demands and everything, but when you try to keep thing and bring it to the main roster, it doesn't work. Like Bron Breakker, Bron Breakker, the way he was in NXT to begin with to the main roster, that wouldn't have worked. But what we're seeing now, which we will talk about later, that's how you elevate somebody.
Maybe the reason why we didn't get a certain group to ever debut in on the main roster, even though everybody was clamoring for it.
Maybe so. Is Swerve Strickland being utilized correctly?
As far as I know, no. He's been champion for how long?
A couple of months. He ain't been
For a couple of months. He When has he been the main attraction since then?
He was the main event.
I say main attraction. I ain't say main event, main attraction.
He was the main attraction. I mean, I could say there's a couple of times he's been the main attraction, even when he wasn't the main event, because the main event sucked. But I think he is being utilized properly for me because of the buildup. We're having him say, I'm going to be a fighting champion. So he's fighting people in different levels in the show. He's opened the show. He's been in the middle of the show. He's closed the show. I think that even though he wasn't the main event of the last pay-per-view, he was the better match than the main event. Right? That main event match.
You can be the better match, but when I'm saying main attraction, are the people there to see you? You're the reason why they're there.
So there's a simple answer to that question. Watch the episode and watch him say whose house and listen to what you hear. You don't hear 3 or 4 people. You hear everybody. When he says whose house, all you hear is the whole crowd say. So whether they're there just to see him, they are there to see him. What they're doing, I'm going to give you the equivalent of what they're doing. And this is something else we're going to talk about later, but the overshadowing for people who don't watch AEW to get it. They figured out a guy that people got into, Swerve Strickland. And unlike LA Knight and Jey Uso in WWE, they say, you know what? People are into him. What if we put the belt on him while he's hot? Let him grow with the belt. So by the time the reign is over, he's the guy. But we're not going to try to make him be the guy and then put the belt on him. You know, something they used to do in the past in wrestling back in the day where you take a guy that was popular. He hadn't really had a 5 or so year run at the top, right? But he got popular with the crowd. Everybody loves him. Everybody's out there doing a big pressure dance, singing, I swerve when I drive, and all that when he comes out. Whenever it is, you're not taking him and saying, oh, you got to be the main event champion, right? You're saying you're the champion, so you're the main event wherever you're at. So for people who want him to be like, oh, he's not even he's not the main event. Like I said, you watch the show, you hear the people respond when he says whose house, and you know they're there to see him. That's what's important. It's not the placement of your match, but your story. They're telling a long-term story with Swerve Strickland, and they're allowing him to have the belt as he builds himself up, which a lot of times does not happen. But when you had a guy like Samoa Joe, who I like a lot, but Samoa Joe wasn't a long-term champion. Like, he really wasn't. You could have him be like a TNT champion, international champion, a tag team champion, or champion, but he just doesn't strike me at this point in his career as a guy who could have a long run as the top champion. You know who can't have a long run as a top champion? Swerve Strickland.
Define long runs, because I think people have different definitions of how.
So when I say long run,
works.
I'm considering 9+ months to be long for me. That's my definition of a long.
So you
3/4 of the year.
3/4 of the year.
If you go 3/4 of the year plus, you're a long run. Now, once you get past 2 years, in my opinion, you've probably gotten stale. Now, I think it worked with a certain individual, Mr. Reigns, because he wasn't there every week. He didn't have time to get tired of it, right? He didn't come out every week and like he did it when he was there, but it was a lot of times he wasn't there. And while that was something that, you know, people like myself had some things to say about, which I did, I think not being there every week was a smart thing. I think not being here every week, once Swerve gets another month or so with the championship, he has a couple of more strong defenses, then you start maybe he doesn't have to be on every show. Maybe he's on Dynamite 1 week, he's on Collision 1 week, you know what I'm saying? Like you can kind of back off having him there every week. But right now, you need him or MJF on, because those are the 2 faces that everybody's loving right now.
Now, for my question. As you said, this is 2 of your favorite guys. Is it too soon? Because that's the first thing that popped in my head when I seen the final part of the clip. I was like, oh. Why now? That was my question. Why now?
Well, I'll give you the answer to that. They want to elevate the prestige of the international championship. So how do you do that? You put it on a guy like Will Osprey first. Then you have him end up in a match with who? With the world champion. Doesn't matter who it is, with the world champion. And again, Will Ospreay's not going to win that match. But Will Ospreay is being built up for people who don't watch New Japan or other places where he was previous to coming to AEW. So you're building him up with a championship, but you're also saying this champion won this gauntlet match and has an opportunity now to be AEW champion. Is he going to win it? No, because you can't afford a short run for Swerve Strickland, or you wasted giving him the belt. He has to have a 9+ month reign. He has to.
And also, devil's advocate, and this is
somebody takes it off of him.
Let me play devil's advocate, even though this is not my point of view, but there's people out there that think like this. Why did you just put the belt on Will Ospreay and then put him in a world title match for him to lose when you're supposed to be building up Will Ospreay? People got some questions. You know it.
It doesn't have to be a clean win. It doesn't have to be a finished match. He just can't win the belt. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying, people got them questions.
No, I understand the question. The answer is he doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be a clean match. It doesn't have to be Swerve pins him or he pins Swerve. They can get jumped, right? Undisputed Kingdom could come out because nobody can beat Swerve but Adam Cole. Will Ospreay's got some beef going on. They could come out. Like, there's several ways to have this match in where Will Ospreay doesn't have to lose to not win a championship. My whole point is he can't win a championship. He doesn't have to be pinned. The match could be thrown out. He doesn't have to be pinned. We'll see how it goes leading up to that, because I do believe there's going to be outside interference because you want to keep both of these guys strong. But he needs the opportunity. You need to be able to match to put yourself up against who is considered the measuring stick. And the guy who's considered the measuring stick is a guy who has a championship, because that's where everybody wants to be. Also, we're seeing Swerve turn from the hunter to the hunted, and how he's maturing in the role of the hunted. And keep in mind, he's already had about 3 or 4 title defenses, whereas a certain guy on SmackDown's had 2? But it's about to be a third against one of the same people. We'll get to that too. There's that. As well. Now, also,
it didn't take long to get that comic we've been waiting on.
We're gonna get more than one. We're gonna get one in AEW. We're gonna get one in WWE at least. All right, so a couple of more points from AEW. There's a new member of the Learning Tree. That's the bounty hunter Brian Keith, who saved Chris Jericho against Hook at the pay-per-view. So that happened. Brian Keith is officially a member of the Learning Tree. Don't think it's going to benefit him at all.
That's the name of the freaking group.
It's the Learning Tree. Don Callis did a swerve on us, pun intended. Pretended he was going to make Cassidy. Correction.
Sir, I know you trying to do something, but I do recall that somebody on this program, not me, called that.
Yep.
So I can't say a swerve.
I mean, it's going to go one 2 ways. Well, because
literally my co-host called it.
Believe it. Yeah, I mean, just because we call it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. But I think it was a swerve the way they did it. But a bigger swerve, pun definitely intended, was what the Don Callis family did. Don Callis pretended that they were going to have Orange Cassidy join. Don't believe that was ever really the case. And it ended up being Trip Beretta, and they beat the dog fool out of Orange Cassidy. And then
that's your swerve. My swerve is they use Chris Statland.
Well, it's not a swerve for me because she never came to Orange Cassidy's aid. So if you read the tea leaves, if I don't come to your aid when I see you getting beat down by Trent Beretta, if I'm not coming to help you and saying, Trent, what are you doing, stopping all that, I don't have a problem with what's happening to you. So while it may be a swerve for some, it wasn't for me. But again, I see some things that other people don't see, and other people see some things I don't see.
No, what I'm saying, I didn't see them using Chris Statlander, who's not even part of that group, to introduce a new member to the family. I didn't see that coming.
Well, because she's down with heel, I did. Remember, she already turned on Willow Nightingale. So she's already kind of flipped to the heel side. Orange Cassidy's clearly a face. It kind of made a lot of sense to me. But I understand where you and a lot of people who saw it differently, like I said, where y'all coming from. All right, so the other important point for me from AEW, and there's some other things, but for time constraints, gotta leave time for the WWE. Gotta leave time for that. Another important thing that happened to me was the Elite tried to come out and give Jack Perry the TNT Championship. Christopher Daniels basically came out. I was like, nah. You're fired. He's like, I'm actually not fired. Tony rehired me. And I'm in charge of communicating what he wants to happen to everybody until he returns, if he returns. Right? So there's going to be a tournament for the TNT Championship. They'll begin on Dynamite. This tournament should be on Dynamite and Collision. They normally have one half of it, kind of like WWE does. They'll have one half on Dynamite and one half on Collision. So that'll be something to watch. We'll see who ends up in the finals and all the matches. So we'll break that down next week. Again, we're working for time, so you got to kind of, move through some things, but we'll break everything down for next week's in it. And what's going on with that. But Playmaker, we did not talk about your girl this week. Did you have anything you want to add to AEW, including anything about your peoples?
Hello, Sky Blue. Nice for you to make yourself known.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Perfect, sir. I will say perfect. So a couple of comments here. First, we'll start with Damien being Damien, and we love him for it. We do. We honestly do. Damien says, I don't know what's more annoying, Mercedes Moné, Liv Morgan, or Caitlin Clark crybabies. For me, it's the third, sir. For me, it's the third.
No comment.
Yolanda says, hey, guys, Yolanda in the building. What up? Thank you for watching as always. We appreciate your support. And then Damien says, either TK on desperate mode or somebody messing with his baking powder to keep it PG. LOL. Hey, we talk about all the time about Tony Khan and his nose candy sessions. So it's nothing around here. But I feel where you're coming from. I definitely feel it. I do think there's a little bit of desperateness because he's realizing that what he's doing, what he's trying to do is not working, and how can he fix it? But I think I would say he's going pretty good in some of the decisions that are being made now. It seems like he has some different people advising him and kind of helping him make decisions, which is a positive for all of us that care at all about AEW. And for those that don't, I mean, they haven't given you a lot lately, but I see them starting to try to work toward giving you more of what they were at the beginning. Before.
If you want to go ahead and tell them who they are, I mean, WWE marks.
So what?
You talking about those WWE marks? Yeah.
Well, not even just those, but there's a lot of people that were high on AEW that have been frustrated lately. You know what I'm saying?
Like me? To my me. Because yes, I have very been highly frustrated with y'all.
But they're starting to try to pick it back up. They've got to learn how to build their own guys and stop trying to put too much on these old guys. We talked about before he got hurt, guys like Adam Copeland and all them. It's like, bro, y'all old. Like you're part-time. You know what I'm saying? Like they're attractions. Use them as attractions and maybe like managers or part-time producers or mentors.
I'm going to say sorry. I'm just going to say sorry to everybody who runs this and who does what they need to do with the show. But Adam Cooking, why was your ass trying to jump off a 20-foot freaking cage?
Yeah, that was crazy, but yeah, that's like 10 years ago. He should have been doing that, but
Cut a commercial before I
we're definitely going to commercial. Stay tuned. Good people will be back. Shout out 502 Angel Radio and Real Wise Radio. You'll be catching us on both.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts. Drew Willingham,
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson,
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
with a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
All right, good people. We will have one more commercial break before we end things, but we have given ourselves ample amount of time to dive into the WWE and all things WWE from this past week. So I want to ask you a question before we go any further. What is the WWE doing with the Year of Worlds, Mr. J. Uso, and LA Knight? What are they doing?
So, if I'm thinking clearly, Logan Paul is getting ready to defend the title against LA Knight, most likely at SummerSlam. But SummerSlam is not until when? August, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get through the month of June, which is this month, and we got to get through the month of July, which is Money in the Bank. Now, June, in about 12 days from now, Clash at the Castle, Glasgow, Scotland. Okay, we have to get there. Okay, what do I always say on the road to WrestleMania when it comes to storylines? When we get to a big four event, and when we have an idea of what the match is going to be, how do we get there? That's where they at when it comes to LA Knight. How do we get LA Knight to Logan Paul for a SummerSlam? That is my guess right now.
Okay.
And by the way, Carmelo Hayes, I'm gonna need you to not mess up on your promos, okay?
So what about the Yeeter Worlds? What are they doing with him?
Jay, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem me and Koo had. You put him in these title matches and you didn't put no title on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to sit here and wait for whenever Jimmy comes back and Roman comes back. But until then, Jay's gonna be that what's the term I'm looking for? Jay is gonna be that hype person for the crowd. Now, W, you have free range to prove me wrong. But as of right now, you gave the man the Intercontinental title match, he lost. You gave the man a world title match, he lost. You put the man in the King of the Ring tournament and he lost.
Yeet.
If you want to prove me wrong, prove me wrong. But for right now, he is the guy that's responsible for getting the crowd where you want the crowd to be. That's pretty much where he is right now. Until Big Bro comes back and the Big Oos Roman comes back.
Yeet. So I'm going to provide the one thing that can be done to change the fortunes of one Jey Uso. You're not going to do it, but there's only one thing you can do to fix your Jey Uso problem. One thing. You know what that is? Yeeter of the bank. That's the only thing you can do. If you don't have Mr. Yeeter in the bank, there's nothing you can do. That's all you can do to fix it. Because that gives you time to do like you did with Damian Priest and build him up. He can go after either belt he wants, and he can do it whatever time. So he can wait till a moment where a champion is vulnerable and they just won a big match. He can wait till a time when a new champion just barely won a match and they are exhausted and come out and yeet them to death and win that match. That's the only thing you can do to fix Jey Uso, because he's had championship matches. All the LA Knights had championship matches, but we didn't really think he had an opportunity. You've built Jey Uso so much. You put main event in his name. You got to give him something. And you've basically, for lack of better terminology, pissed away the other things that you could have him do. So to me, I'm with Playmaker, but that's your bailout. So if anybody from WWE Creative is secretly sneaking and watching the show, stop your games and yeet him on up that ladder.
Which is interesting because now that I think about it, who will be favored to win? Money in the Bank, because I don't need Gunther in it. He already got the title match that's on this line.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need you McIntyre as of right now. He got a match at Castle Classic for the title.
LA Knight's going to be in the Intercontinental match. I mean, not Intercontinental, but United States match.
That's where we rejected LA Knight to be in the SummerSlam, is the United States title match and be the one to take it off Logan Paul for once.
Mm-hmm.
So who else you got?
The only other thing
that can be seen credible to taking out a champion.
The only thing I can see if you don't do that to leave some credibility for Jay is Sammy drops the belt to big dude Bronson Reed, and then at SummerSlam Jay gets the belt of Bronson Reed.
They setting up Chad Gable for that.
They are, but I'm just saying that's the only other way that you could go, because you have to do something to lend some credibility to Jay. So you can't just keep losing and keep losing and keep losing.
Speaking of which, how you feel about Chad Gable now? Because this man is being a savage right now.
Much better than I did with thank you, Chad Gable. Much better. At the time that our video was made, I was referring to good guy Chad Gable, not who we have now. But I'm still have trepidation until it completely turns.
He is destroying
the complete turn.
Everybody's wait for Otis to turn, and it's all about Otis, but he is destroying that scene.
Yeah,
he's destroying that scene.
Well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have turn on Maxine, I think, because we're gonna get her and the Creed brothers are gonna be the new lackeys for Chad Gable. I don't know if they'll be the same. They may have a different name, right? But I think it's going to be a new little squad, and it's going to be a much different squad and much better as far as credible wrestlers.
See, let me paint a picture for y'all. Well, let me go to the comment first. You can go ahead, put up Damien's comment.
So Damien says LA Knight getting screwed over even after Vince is gone. Now I see why Andrade wants to leave there again. I don't feel sorry for him because why would you come back after they had nothing for you?
I haven't heard that. I didn't know Andrade was trying to leave again.
I haven't heard that either. Damien also says, I wish Chad did use the belt at least on Sammy.
Yeah, let me tell you, for those who watch on TV and those who go through social media, it's like two different places when it comes to WWE. TV shows you, Otis is the guy who's getting it the worst from Chad Gable. Those on social media telling you is actually Maxine Dupree who's getting it worse. What he is calling Maxine is just ruthless. It's just ruthless. And I ain't feeling bad for Maxine. I'm like, does she deserve this? But it's working because Chad is a heel, and whoever thought Chad can actually go vicious and talking to people. So I'll give Chad Gable credit on that. It's not like he knows how to be a heel.
Yeah. So I like that change. If you're gonna do something with Chad Gable, that's the way that you need to go with him. Because the good guy, he would have destroyed the Continental Championship.
Now that I got that.
So playmaker. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. There was a promo at the beginning of Raw. This is all you. Talk about it.
Gunther doing Gunther things. Damian Priest comes out. They have they verbiage back and forth. Respectfully. And, Drew McIntyre has to make an appearance because, if we're being honest, like, y'all talking about SummerSlam, but Damian Priest does has a tighter defense in Clash of the Castle. We just can't overlook Drew, right? Drew comes out here, he does his little thing, and right before we get actually into it, Gunther's like, yeah, this doesn't concern me. I will see myself out the ring.
Yep.
Kind of, how I put it like this. Right decision, still disappointed because I wanted to see them three go at it. To be quite honest. Selfishly. I wanted them three all with the mics going at each other. That's just me being selfish, okay? Because I wanted to see the battle between them three and how this would work. Just me being selfish, all right? But for WWE, correct move. Gunther, he already has his match set. It don't matter who is champion. He's already set.
Right.
Just make sure you bring your butt to Cleveland in August.
Bring my belt and bring your butt.
I'm glad you said, because I was going to say a different word, but I already used my one for the night.
I was trying to help you out.
So I didn't want to do it twice. I already did it once.
Teamwork makes the dream work, sir. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, here we go. We talking about it, and now I don't know if it's planned or not. If it is planned, it's great work by Drew McIntyre because yet again, Damian Priest gets the last laugh. If this is what we doing with Drew McIntyre, it's working. Because this is 2 weeks in a row I have seen Drew McIntyre get on the mic by Damian Priest.
Remember, y'all, pay attention to the last Raw before Clash of the Castle. That's when we get a real hint as to what's happening. We already know what's going to happen, but just storyline-wise, what's going to happen.
You know the crazy thing is we haven't seen CM Punk in some time now, which is making me wonder about Clash of the Castle. To your point from last week, CM Punk's been MIA. Coincidentally. I'm just a little nugget out there, Ms. Lynn, you know, but I'm catching. I haven't seen a CM Punk sighting in a couple of weeks now.
You haven't. You are correct.
So it's making me wonder what Koo was saying last week. It might be the way that we're going.
Mm-hmm. Leave him off for a few weeks. Let him clear him. And then guess what? We find out that he's cleared at Clash of the Castle when he interferes in a match, and then after he costs him the belt, I'm back. But you know what I mean.
But it sets up SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that nugget out there.
It's all about the stories, y'all. It's all about the stories. Everybody want everybody to be champion, and everybody win every belt. But it's about the stories. And Drew McIntyre and CM Punk don't need a championship on the line. There's real heat there. You don't need a championship on the line.
That's the same fact Punk came back. That started the whole heat. That's something he walked out at Survivor Series.
And the fact that Drew McIntyre was making T-shirts, poking fun at him on social media, and all that stuff while he was out, you knew it was going to happen. You do it.
Now that brings me to, let's see, what word do I want to use without getting censored here?
I'll tell you why you bring it up. Damien says, I don't know why, but Gunther as king is not doing anything for me. Like Nia Jax is more interested in Gunther, and it's only been a week. Well, I'm going to tell everybody a secret about Gunther, the actual character. He's not that exciting. You know what made him exciting? He was the ring general, and he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion.
And he beats the brakes off. And he beats the brakes off people.
Right, but as a character, he's not that interesting.
Look, for me, only thing Gunther has to do for me as king is say, this man is sacred and you will respect it. That's it. That's all he got to say for me. He's the king. He can say whatever he wants. You go back to that, I'm good. But now,
I need your mic work to be on point. And Gunther's ain't bad. His character just is really one-dimensional, to be honest, in my opinion. It works well because you have so many other personalities that a guy that's just focused on wrestling, no nonsense, and straight to the point can fit in. But King Yeet would have been much better. I'm just saying, King Yeet would have been 10 times more exciting.
let me think of, we can say, we can call this guy the idiot of the week, the dodo of the week.
Yeah, we do need to add that, by the way. I need an idiot of the week. All right.
We can, whatever you want to call him. And there's some guys on social media that are jealous of him because what happened. Yet again, this idiot fool Mysterio messed up again. Which is great for the storyline, by the way. It's great for the storyline.
Buffoon of the week, how about that?
Buffoon of the week, we can do that. We can go where Damien said. There's a lot of different ways we can go with this, okay? But Dominic Mysterio messed up again. Good for the storyline, and a good way to send Becky Lynch off to go be a wife and a mom for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Very good way to do it. And everybody's gonna here's the funny part. Everybody's blaming Dominic, right? Like we just gonna look over the fact that he got ran over by a monster that led to that. Who were basically coming out to get Judgment Day for what they did earlier in the night. So doesn't the entire group of Judgment Day deserve blame here, not just one person? If we're being completely honest. Because if them two dopes didn't come out there, Dominic don't get run over by a monster. Is it just me?
So I have a theory, and actually somebody agrees with the theory online, so they were able to put it a little bit more eloquently in the right order than what I would have said had I not seen that article. So we all believe that Dominic is working with Liv, right? We're pretty confident that he's not really being truthful to the Judgment Day, right? And that he's part of what's happening. But there could be just the opposite. Dominic could be telling us the truth, and he really isn't aware of what's happening. But the other two members of Judgment Day that we've caught Liv having conversations with, which would be JD McDonough and Finn Balor, are in on it with Liv. Now that could be happening, and Dominic isn't aware of it because Dominic is being played like the patsy here. He keeps bringing guys to, hey, they should join the Judgment Day. It's kind of like the little simple idiot here in this whole thing. So you could play it off with it being a situation where Dom really didn't know. He was just dumb Dom. But his own teammates were playing him and Priest because they were tired of Priest running around talking about he's the leader. And then Dominic's hurt, so he ain't really no help no more. So, that could be the case. It's more likely going to be that Dom is helping her. It could be all three of them are helping her. But just another, way things could be headed, just to give a different opinion than what we already think is going to happen.
And then Liv Morgan did the unthinkable.
Was it really unthinkable?
For me, yes.
Okay.
I can't follow Liv no longer.
What?
No.
You threw a pancake?
I'm done. Out of all the people in the world. Out of all the people in the freaking world. That doofus. Who actually looked pissed that it happened. But like you said, he's in a one-arm sling, so what can he really do?
Yo. We gotta go to the comment show. We gotta go to the comments. So we'll go back. So Damian says there are reports of Andrade getting pissed about creative after his recent tweets. Well, I mean, I can see him getting pissed with creative. If you haven't watched what he's doing, I can see him being upset. LDF, you trying to get him a Legado del Fantasma? No. So Damian says Bendejo of the year. Laugh out loud. Damian. I told you it was gonna be more than one. So in the worlds of Big E, Dom Balls is hot.
And that would be something Big E would say too. Live on television.
Yes. So BS3 in the morning shift with Cole Johnson. Excuse me, my man Cole Johnson says, ooh. And then the pancake emoji. My guy. Then Cole says, I thought you liked Liv Playmaker. That kiss with Liv was off the chain hilarious.
Nope.
And then Damian, sticking true to being Damian, says Don making babies and Montez Ford having a shortage. Darn, what a time to be alive. Laugh out loud. That's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest, Montez Ford did that to himself.
That's crazy.
Because you got everybody over here trying to figure out what's going on with Bianca Belair because this man changed the number of children he had without no content with it. And everybody confused because Bianca Belair isn't part of a freaking tournament. Montez did that to himself. And speaking of which, I will say this: the women's tag team champion, there will be on Raw, and something that you would like to hear, sir. One of them put on a Catwoman suit. I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say.
The goal was to ask you. So just because Liv kissed Dom, you no longer can get behind the current woman world's heavyweight champion.
Nope.
Cole, the problem is the cakes are too fickle for him to stay behind her, bro. That's the problem. Them pancakes don't do it.
She kissed the dummy of the year.
But if them cakes was more powerful, you would at least get pause. But
no,
because there's no cakes.
I can care less. She kissed the dummy of the year. The dummy of the year.
Hey man, I ain't knocking you, player. I'm just giving my thoughts on
the dummy of the year. I'm like, I'd all be
on the outside looking in.
I hope y'all know, but this is just jokes, right? Y'all not taking this seriously. Because these day and age of now, we say anything, they taking and running with it. Like,
hey, you can run it as long as you make sure that you put where you can find the show at and all that. Do what you gotta do. We give you verbal permission. Chop it.
First of all, Cole Jones, I was the one that said she was going to win the title. I'm the one who said Becky Lynch was just that point to where Liv Morgan can get her little revenge on Becky Lynch and then take the title. I ain't the one that said that. Now, the other part, you got that one.
So, my whole thing was, I know it's going to happen, but it doesn't mean I have to like it because it was stupid. For her to get revenge, all she had to do was beat Becky Lynch in the Battle Royal. But Becky Hogan made sure she had another title reign that she could ride off with before she went ahead and took her break. Because it's not beating her in the Battle Royal still revenge. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I never said it wasn't going to happen. I just said it was stupid, and it was. But that's what they did. That's my thoughts.
Damien on one tonight.
Damien says nobody wants flat tires. Unfortunately, Dom had to be the sacrificial lamb. Laugh out loud, right?
Damien on one tonight. I think Damien brought his A game tonight. Now, enough of Raw. Let's go to the Blue Brand.
Can we make a quick stop before we go to the Blue Brand, sir?
All right.
Can we talk about the Black and Gold real quick? Would you mind if we just stop by the Black and Gold for like 3-4 minutes? That's all we need.
Of course. So yeah, we already talked about Jordynne Grace moving over.
We did.
And challenging Roxanne Perez. Now, if y'all gonna keep the title on Roxanne Perez, there's no clean finish. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. There's no clean finish. Because there's no universe, there's no world, no continent, no country, no city, no nothing.
No galaxy.
Where Roxanne Perez is beating Jordynne Grace. Let's just get that out the way right now. So for the only way to make Roxanne Perez still your NXT Women's Champion, there's no clean finish at Battleground. Just plain and simple. See, that's why I looked at NXT. I was like, are y'all gonna put the title on Jordynne Grace? So that's the only reason why y'all put it over there. Because it won't make no sense. And plus, there has been reports that said there will be some NXT personality that's going over to TNA. So we could see some more stuff happen between TNA and NXT. which is good for wrestling overall. By the way, but that wasn't the only surprise we got. Obviously, my co-host already brought up Sexy Red. I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to say what I really want to say. But they let her be her. I will give them that. They let her be her on NXT. And she got to walk out with the NXT champion, Trick Williams. Okay. Now, I'm going to need, if Sexy Red going to show up on NXT and going to be with the champion, I'm going to need you to, follow the guidelines when the champ comes out. Okay. I need you to know that. When the champ comes out, the crowd's going to say, whoop that trick. I need you to follow suit. Okay?
I appreciate you going there, sir. I appreciate you going there.
I'm just saying.
But I'm saying
I don't think she really understood what she was doing.
I know she didn't understand what she was doing, sir.
When that music hit.
She did. She was caked up and caked out though. She was that.
Hell, when you do more twerking than anybody, you better be caked up and caked out.
Just saying. And
some other stuff too, but I ain't gonna get into it because it's not appropriate.
Some women work for it, some women pay for it, but it still is caked up and caked out. That's all I'm saying.
And plus, she did get to reveal the NXT Women's Champion. By the fact, do you like the title?
I do, but we had some technical difficulties with the downloading process.
Oh wow!
I actually do. Keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can. Maybe I'll give it another shot here. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you wait a little bit, you go bad. Sometimes stuff might do right. You know what I mean?
So NXT belt, the NXT North American Women's belt is a white belt, pretty much. The NXT look like the NXT men's belt, but it's white, pretty much. And I think it look actually better in white for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks better.
I agree.
Now, you got Jordynne Grace out here. You got Sexy Red out here. But guess who got the last laugh? All Eagle himself out of nowhere. Ethan Paige takes out the champion. Wow. One, those of you know, I'm up and down on AEW, so I didn't even know Ethan Page's contract was done with AEW. My co-host did, so. What did you think about seeing the All Ego making a statement at the Champs expense?
So I liked it. I really liked it because it tied up a storyline for us. And I think a lot of people aren't thinking about that, right? Because we had the whole thing with Trick Williams and everybody, people trying to Trick was attacking the guys from, what is the name of that weird group? They had some weird names. The Metaphor, right? So they were trying to say Trick Williams was attacking them.
Oh, yeah, because you had ads like, Trick, did you do it? And Trick was like, no.
And we know she's caked up too. So anytime we can see lots of cakes on screen, it's a good day for me. But yeah, I like the fact that they were trying to do something with the story. That Ethan comes out and All Ego Ethan is his best when he's completely off the chain. Right? Whenever he's not completely off the chain, then we don't get the best version of All Ego Ethan Page. But when he is wilding out, that's when we get what we need.
You know what? Speaking of wild, now before I go to SmackDown real quickly, Bron Breakker out here destroying people.
Yep.
Now him and Adam Pearce got this little authority rivalry going on here, sir. Your thoughts, real quickly. Because there's only one thing. There's only one main thing of SmackDown I really want to talk about. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, maybe two.
What I like about it, is the fact that it's elevating him. He's using it it's being used as a tool to get him to a different level. And I like that a lot more than some of the other things that have been done in the past to get guys over. You know what I'm saying? Like actually doing that with him instead of doing something like some ridiculous storyline. You just have him go out and just beat people's ass. Just beat the snot out of people. Like that's a great tool to use to say, this is how we're going to get this guy over. We're going to let him be like a mix between his dad and his uncle. He's not as much of a loose cannon as his uncle, because nobody can be that much of a loose cannon. I don't know if he could be that much of a loose cannon. But he's definitely giving off those wild vibes. So I like that.
I would say there you go. That is the North American Women's Championship
behind me, and so y'all have a good view. Here you go. Yeah, of course.
That is the So, to be honest, I know Samantha Urban was not happy because Ricochet took a speed. I can't even call that a spear. He devoured Ricochet, and then Dragunov got it just as worse. They showed him backstage trying to walk. He couldn't walk. That's how bad Bron Breakker hit him. So there's that. Now let's go to SmackDown. All right, real quickly. I'm okay with the Tonga brothers beating the Street Profits. Question I have for you, sir. Are you okay of how they beat the Street Profits?
I love it.
Okay. So you love how they beat the Street Profits?
I love it. A little deception. It is quote unquote a clean win, but a little misdirection. That's what bad guys do against the better teams. That's how you beat the better wrestlers and the better teams. You don't necessarily have an all-out interference, but you have a little misdirection that puts you in the proper position. So tag team match. Tommy hit him on the back. Street Profits didn't see him. They had Tonga Loa put away, but he wasn't the legal man. So it's a perfect way to have them get the win, but still not like take a lot of shine off the Street Profits. Because it's like, all right, they outwin us, you got us, but it's not like, whatever.
Okay. Actually, I'll take the last three things I want to talk about. So we have this obsession with Piper Niven with Bayley, mainly because she's the champion.
We're going to do the belt for like 5 minutes. We're just going to do the belt. We're going to let y'all see the belt.
So Queen Nia pretty much do what she's supposed to do. Let it be known, yes, I'm the queen. All that, y'all can feel how y'all feel, but Bayley, I'm coming for you. Just go ahead and get straight to the point. And Bayley comes out there, and then all of a sudden, Piper Niven attacks Bayley again. And they gotta put the mic in Chelsea Green's hand so she can talk, saying that you're gonna face Piper Niven at SummerSlam. And Queen Nia just said all of them up. It don't matter which one of y'all did. Just bring my belt to SummerSlam and walk out the ring. Your thoughts, sir?
So I want to say this, and this applies to old girl Chelsea Green as well. The moment Sexy Red opened her mouth, my eardrums bled. I agree. Cole also goes on to say, one thing I want to see about her is that badonkadonk, or those caked up and caked out cakes. Either way you want to put it, we are saying the same thing, we're just using different wordage. In between that, Damien says WWE TNA Invasion pay-per-view coming soon. I can't wait. I want to throw those there. There's a couple more we'll get to in a few minutes here. But I wanted to say this. For me, 100% honest, I love this new Nia. This is a Nia that's like, yo, I'm that chick. Y'all are not. That's your problem, not mine. Y'all can do the B-level battle. Whichever one of y'all comes to something with the belt, you're losing it. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. We need champion Nia on SmackDown to join the Bloodline. The Bloodline needs a female. The Bloodline needs some championships. Real talk.
Yeah. To me, I think they're working their way there slowly.
They are, but if you move too slow, you ain't gonna have no buy-in by the time you do it.
No argument over here. Now let's get to something that had everybody talking about SmackDown. I'm just going to put it to you like this. Soon, everybody knew what was coming because y'all put AJ Styles in a suit. When have we ever seen AJ Styles in a suit? So we knew what was coming. The man just asked for a title match last week. And Nick Aldis said he can't do it, being fair. And then the following week, AJ Styles in a suit. What did y'all got cooking up here? We know something's going on because we don't see AJ Styles in a suit. And we definitely know the man ain't retiring because the man was just asking for a title match the week prior. What do? Let's roll the clocks back to what, 2013, 2014, maybe?
The whole night. I can tell you my whole comments on it in 1 minute. The whole night, I was like, this gives me Mark Henry, John Cena vibes with the salmon suit.
Like, dude, y'all ain't fooled nobody. Y'all didn't fool nobody. Like, now, if y'all want to fool us, don't have AJ Styles ask for a title match the week prior. If you don't have AJ Styles for a title match the week prior, y'all might have got us. Because it's like, hold on, why is AJ Styles in the suit? Like, what's going on here? Like, we didn't see him last week. What? You would have had us curious, like, what's going on here? But you had a man ask for a title match the previous week. Like we was going to see him like, bruh, that man is not retiring. We just saw this man about, a month ago put on a phenomenal match with Cody Rhodes. Was Cody Rhodes' first title defense. Now, I get it. The whole beatdown thing people don't like, but you got to remember, Mark Henry was a big mother and father person, all right?
Mother fathering?
Yeah. I gotta go that route. You gotta keep it PG, man. You gotta keep it PG.
Yeah, I feel it.
Mark Henry is a big mother and father person, all right? So Mark Henry don't have to sit there and beat the brace off John Cena. A world's strongest man, that's all that needed to be done to get the point across. AJ Styles, he might be bigger physique-wise than Cody Rhodes, but he ain't taller than Cody Rhodes. So one move ain't gonna work. Okay. Right. So AJ Styles had to put some more emphasis on the beatdown.
Mm-hmm. A little more umph on it.
Yeah, which he did. I mean, he did a Styles class off the top of the steel steps.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. If you don't like the beatdown, cool, because it's not what. Look at, we talking about Mark Henry. We talking about the world's strongest man. All they need to do is do one thing and we get the point.
All Mark Henry had to do was throw John Cena on the ground and dive on it. And we already know what it is. You understand what I'm saying?
So your thoughts on the reincarnation of the fake retirement?
It could have been executed better, but like I said, it wasn't going to be a surprise either way, so everybody knew what it was. He should have put him in the calf crusher and then just kept it on for like 3 or 4 minutes. That would have been a better way to do it than that little Styles clash off the extra 2 feet in the air, you know. But it made sense for what they were trying to do. I'll say it like that.
I mean, pretty much what he's saying, we got the point. We knew what y'all was doing. We got the point. And for lack of a better term, you delivered.
Yeah.
But the problem is, we still don't see AJ Styles beating Cody Rhodes at this moment in time.
Nope.
If y'all would have waited till like closer to the Survivor Series, and yeah, because you know, for me, once you get past that SummerSlam mark, then I want to start. Then I want to start believing who can beat whoever.
Then you might actually use. Yeah, you might actually lose. Yeah. And
but
Cody got people and in-ring experience and presented his mom the belt and all that, so he's got to have it for a few months at least. So these first few people, it's kind of like Damian Priest. Like y'all not gonna win, but at least you're getting credible challenge. You're not taking somebody from the mid card and trying to put them up there. At least you're doing that.
All I'm saying is, if y'all would have did this like after SummerSlam, going towards Survivor Series, then we would have been like, well, yeah, we might have AJ Styles might get him this time. But yes. I mean, but we don't. Whatever y'all book this match, we don't see Cody Rhodes losing to AJ Styles. Just letting you know. All right, to the comments so we can go because we have another show to do in about an hour.
All right, so Damien says, I thought Red was going to have a match at Battleground.
Oh, hell.
Cole says, yeah. Cole says, I'm glad it's him and not that crappy Noam Dar. Yeah, that's true. He says, metaphor, I did. Yeah. Appreciate you. Then Lash Legend. I can't really tell what that is. Maybe you can see a little better than I can.
That's a star.
Okay, yeah, so definitely star. I was all in cake mode trying to make it some type of cake.
I think that's what he means, star cakes.
Yeah, star cakes. Hey, I can rock with that too. Mega cakes. You know what? I got it, Cole. Meta cakes. That's meta cakes. I got it, Cole. What you think about it? You tell me what you think. Meta cakes. All right, and then he says, Bron Breakker better be pushed to the moon. That's all I have to say. I love how he moves in the ring. Explosive. Explosive is the best word we have, but it's nowhere near.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he moved up my ladder of people I don't want to get speared by. I think he moved up the ladder. I do not want to get speared by that. Oh no. Yeah,
he's over. He did encapsulate a lot of people. I would say that definitely. Cole says, I'm glad WWE fit Piper Niven to Bayley. And this can start a rebuild for Piper Niven's character, getting her away from Chelsea Green. Because we need that to happen. Like Chelsea Green is
annoying.
Not good for her. She ain't even good for her own husband's career. Cole says, AJ Styles retiring, man, please. When he come to the ring, I was waiting for the clothesline. Right, you already knew. That's what I'm saying. This wasn't, you didn't, like when Mark Henry did it, you felt like Mark Henry was actually going to retire because it was a couple of weeks we had heard from him. And then
plus he shed tears.
Yeah.
He was shedding tears. AJ Styles ain't shedding not one freaking tear.
Then Cole says, and that backstab didn't really do anything for Cody Rhodes either. That backstab did nothing. Because they were just opponents a couple of weeks ago. And then Cody comes out and says, you know, he sent me a text. He said, it's yours, brother. And I'm like, and you're going to get beat up. And Cole approves of meta cakes. Because we got several different named cakes. So I like when we name the cakes because that way we can kind of have that cakesual integrity when we're talking about it. But not to digress too much, but cakes must be brought up because cakes. But not to digress too much. I'm going to say what I got to say real quick. If Playmaker got anything else, we're going to be out, good people. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out again, 502 Angel Radio, Real Wise Radio, where you will be hearing us. And if you're listening anywhere else, make sure you go to YouTube. Type in Ed Real Play Callers on that search bar at the top And make sure you like and subscribe for your boys. And hit that share button. You know what I mean? But until next time, make sure you tell 4 of your friends and also 4 of your enemies. Even if they don't like you, it doesn't mean they won't like us. And as always, it is never where you start. It is always where you finish. Playmaker, any last words, my good man?
Just look for why the women's tag team champion on Raw. They're on Raw for a reason. Why is the question?
We'll get an answer sometime in the next couple of hours. And one of them will be in a cat suit. And with that being said, man, we're going to get up out of here for the night. Make sure you're back with us next week. Appreciate everybody watch. Everybody catches it later on. There's a lot going on. You may not be able to catch it live, but we appreciate everybody.
By the way, if y'all want more of us, Soto Media in about an hour. We're taking over In and Out Sports Debate.
We definitely are, and it will be posted for you to catch. Holla at your boys.